Hello all, welcome to the second video of this series. So let's start with the second question here. The question says a periodic signal x of t of period t naught is given by x of t with the condition that x of t is 1 when t is less than t1 and it is 0 when t lies in the range of t1 and t naught by 2. Now before starting the question, let's just plot x of t, because whenever such a question is given, the question you will get the solution to the question when you plot the given signal. Plotting the signal helps us in solving 50% of the question. So let's take x of t, says that it's 1 for t is less than t1. Let us say this is t1 and t1, since t is greater than t1 and t is less than t naught by 2, then it obviously means that t1 should be less than t naught by 2. And since there is a mod here, there is just a reversal of the values in here, minus t1 and minus t naught by 2. So if we were to plot the signal, it is as simple as that. So as I have said, just plotting the signal solves 50% of our question. So what is asked? The DC component of x of t. Now we know that from the Fourier formula, the DC component, what is the DC component? DC component is given by the DC component for any periodic signal which can be represented through the Fourier series. It is given by 1 by t, again for one period, x of t dt, or in other words we can say that the DC component is also equal to 1 by t times area under one period. So in the last video I have already explained the meaning of one period. So now, and since the signal is even symmetric, x of t is even symmetric, so by the rules of calculus we know that this is 1 by t times 2 into, we can take just 0 to t1 x of t dt, and we know that t is equals to t naught, that is given in the question, 0 to t1 dt. So this turns out to be 2 by t naught into t1. This is the DC component. Or if we were to represent the frequency equivalent, then this would mean the value at f is equals to 0. So the question could also be asked in this way: what is the value at f is equals to 0 for a signal which is given by this condition? So the answer for this question is option C. So the trick behind solving such periodic signals is always try to plot the given signal. Now we'll take up the second question for this video. So this question says that the Fourier series expansion of a real periodic signal with fundamental frequency f0 is given by Gp of t, and the Fourier representation of Gp of t is given, and it is also given that C3 is 3 plus J5, then C minus 3 is okay. Given that the signal is real and periodic, Gp of t is real and periodic, Now this statement should tell us, because of the periodicity we have the Fourier series representation, and because the given signal is real, then it is to say the complex conjugate of the signal is also the same. That is, any signal x of t can be represented as a summation of or a combination of its real components and the imaginary components. So if we take the complex conjugate of the given signal, now we all know what happens when we take the complex conjugate. The imaginary term just changes its sign. Okay, now since the signal is real, that is to say the imaginary sign, the imaginary term is not present. So which also means that x of t is same as x star of t, because conjugate does not have any effect on the real terms. Okay, now given gp of t, so applying the same concept, we get that gp of t is same as gp star of t, and we also know that by the convention of the Fourier series, the standard representation, we know that gp of t, the Fourier series of this signal, gives us the Fourier coefficient Cn. Okay, and we also know from the complex conjugate property that the gp star or the complex conjugate gives c star of minus n. So these are some properties that I expect you to know before solving such questions. These are not those concepts which are in the advanced range. Okay, these are the bare minimum basics that you should know before solving any gate question. Okay, and now they have also given that C3 is 3 plus J5, and we already know that GP of t is real, so GP of t is same as GP star of t in the time domain, which also means that Cn should be also equal to C star of minus n, and they have asked us to find C of minus 3. Now how do you find C of minus 3 from C star of minus 3? The most basic operation is to take a complex conjugate of the given signal again. That is to say, C3 is same as C star of minus 3. If you take the complex conjugate on both sides, then this will give us C star or the complex conjugate of the third coefficient and C of minus 3. So we have C of minus 3 which turns out to be 3 minus J5. So with the help of just single concept, we came to know that the value of C of minus 3 is 3 minus J5. So the answer is option D. So these are the two questions that we have covered in this video. In the next video, we'll again solve two more questions. So this way we'll increase the number of questions per video, so you can also cope up with the speed of solving questions. Now I'm taking at least more than 3 or 4 minutes to solve each question, because there are some concepts, as I have told in the first announcement video, that I have handpicked these questions based on the concepts that are needed to solve the question. Not just the concept, how to use the concept, how to use the statements that are being given in the question, how do we use that to proceed with our solution. So that's why this is taking much time. Otherwise it's merely a 1 or 2 minute solution. So that's for it. That's for this second video, and we'll take up 2 more questions in the next video, and I'll see you there. Thank you.